This is The Top, where I interview entrepreneurs who are number one or number two in their industry in terms of revenue or customer base. You'll learn how much revenue they're making, what their marketing funnel looks like, and how many customers they have.
I'm now at $20,000 per talk.
5 and 6 million.
He is hell-bent on global domination.
We just broke our 100,000 units sold mark.
And I'm your host, Nathan Latka.
Okay, Top Tribe, this week's winner of the $100 is Dustin Goodwin. He's in the HR industry, specifically in the software as a service space, looking to increase his revenue. So congratulations, Dustin. For your guys' chance to win $100 every Monday on the show to build your idea, simply subscribe to the podcast on iTunes now, and then text the word Nathan to 33444. Again, text the word Nathan to 33444. Folks, many of you reach out to me and you say, Nathan, so many guests on your show talk about the importance of batching. But whenever I try and batch, you tell me this. You go, Nathan, they don't book back-to-back times. Or they don't show up after they book. It's frustrating. The answer is, guys, you have to use smart tools. I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling at nathanlatka.com/schedule. I'll tell you specifically how I use it later on in the episode. Nathan Latka here. This is episode 551. Coming up tomorrow morning, you'll learn from Greg Siegel. They did $300,000 in revenue the last 12 months to help salespeople find the perfect gifts to send to their prospects. Nathan Latka here. Good morning, folks. Our guest this morning is Wayne Silberman, and he's founded a number of startups from South Africa, including one of the world's first music discovery services, which was originally funded by the father of the Ubuntu operating system, Mark Shuttleworth, and one of the leading providers of social apps to mobile operators on the African continent. His most recent venture, Sorted, is a new email platform that's on a path to fundamentally changing the way that people communicate and manage work. Sorted is ranked the #1 app for Gmail on Product Hunt. Wayne, are you ready to take us to the top?
Sure. So thanks for having me on the show, Nathan.
You bet. What do you mean, sure? You're excited to be here, right?
Absolutely.
I'm messing with you, Wayne. I'm messing with you. All right. Tell my audience, what does Sorted do and what's your revenue model? How do you make money?
So just to give you some context, Sorted basically, it's actually a really simple idea. It transforms the Gmail interface into more of an organization system with managed lists. So you can think of it a little bit like Trello for Gmail. Just very simplistically, it's another way to organize email in a much more intuitive way. So one of the things that we discovered very early on in this journey is that so many people use their email inbox as a to-do list. But, as you know, it's not really designed for that. And it actually pretty much sucks when it comes to trying to get yourself organized, in that fashion. So what we basically did was embrace that idea. And we just, effectively gave people what they're intuitively looking for, So things like emailing yourself when you want to remember to do something. Fundamentally, the email model is a little bit flawed because when emails come in the top of your inbox, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're your top priority. So what Sorted does is it allows you to, do things like drag and drop your email onto to-do lists, rename the subject, add reminders, merge different email threads into one group. So generally speaking, it's just another way of being organized with email. That's a lot more flexible and intuitive.
And what's your price point? How do you make money?
So at the moment, Sorted's free. What we want to do to monetize it eventually is we're going to roll out different power packs for specific industries. So you think, for example, about the recruitment industry. Small business, we often think of it this way. Small business just doesn't have time for big software. So if you're in an entrepreneurial role, for example, and you need to get your hands dirty and actually hire somebody, it can be an absolute nightmare. I don't know if you've ever been through that sort of experience yourself, but people don't really want to go and learn a whole new software tool and bring a big piece of software on for the business. Everybody kind of defaults back to email.
Yeah.
So what we've basically done is we've made it easy.
Before we get into kind of your vision, where you're going for this, I just want to make sure I got this right. So just to be clear, you guys you have 2,700 upvotes on Product Hunt. It's very successful, but these are all free users. You're not making $1 of revenue right now yet per month, correct?
No, All completely free, yeah.
Okay, all completely free. And what's so? I mean, how are you? Let's get personal for a second. Do you have a family? I mean, how are you supporting yourself?
So we've actually got another business, and we've got a number of ventures that we started in South Africa, and we've had some success with. So we're fortunate enough to be able to self-fund this. Something like this, you're talking about people's habits, and it's quite tough to change people's habits when it comes to things like email. So it's quite a long journey. And we just kind of committed to the long-term vision of really just fundamentally changing the way that email looks.
How many free users are you at today, December 2016?
So a couple of 100,000. Okay,
like 300,000-ish?
No, below that, but probably in the region of about 200,000.
Okay, and how do you measure kind of an active user? Is it, they sort at least one email per week or what?
Sure. I mean, there's various things that you can do with a sorted app, and obviously we've got different levels of engagement for different users. Some people are not even such frequent Gmail users, and because we've built such a generic tool, we have everything from students and housewives to entrepreneurs and business owners. So you'll typically find that your more active Gmail user will be using Sorted on a more regular basis, and generally speaking, I think the need really appears where in particular roles where you've got a lot to juggle, right? When there's a lot to keep track of. For things that don't require management, like in a personal capacity, for example, you're not going to find much use for a product like this. Yeah.
And what have you? So take us through what you put into it so far in terms of total capital.
So we've probably put in about in the region of $500,000, $600,000, I would say.
Oh wow! And where's most of that money gone? Development or user acquisition or what?
Yeah, so actually development more than anything. All of our traffic has been organic, and all of our acquisition has come from user referral, things like Product Hunt, Lifehacker. We've had a little bit of exposure, but we're not. To be honest, we're not quite in growth mode yet. I think we're still trying to crack the core need. And make this product really, really, really sticky for a lot of users. One of the major challenges that we've had, and I think it's due to the fact that it's something that's really, really important for us to in terms of the USP, and that is that this product works inside Gmail. Nobody wants another app. I think some of the trends in the industry. You'll find there's a lot of hot new apps out all the time, but people are very comfortable, and for the most part, Gmail as an example works, right? I mean, we'll get to Outlook eventually as well, but just using Gmail as an example, it works for 90% of the things that you want to do. But it's that remaining 10% that's actually really, really important, where a product like Gmail is sort of lacking because it's an email tool, it's not an organizer. Why would a user kind of choose to install something like this over these other kind of Chrome extensions, which allow you to, add a task to Trello directly from email or add something to Slack directly from Gmail? Yeah, so I think that comes back to the exact same point that these are two different worlds, right? And I mean, people spend most of their time in their email environment communicating because email as a medium is so centric and so crucial to the way that people work today. We're actually, you mentioned Slack, we're actually building a Slack product as well because we found that a lot of internal communication within organizations is shifting that way. But just coming back to email, to get to your point, if you add a task from your email into Trello, you're now really context switching all the time between two different applications. So what we specifically wanted to do is we wanted to bring the Trello type of experience into the communication tool that you use every day and where you spend your time communicating. So really what it allows you to do is to communicate using email as a medium in the context of your priorities. I think that's pretty much the big idea. So we found that it's been quite challenging actually to get this thing working inside the Gmail environment itself.
What do you mean, Gmail's just the coding?
More from a resource point of view. I think Gmail's pretty heavy as an application on the web. So now when you actually build a full web application, which is what we've done, to run inside Gmail itself, now you're running sort of two applications within the same tab in a Chrome browser. It's pretty challenging to get that to work smoothly. So you've had to jump through a lot of hoops to just get the performance right. I mean, because people are so reliant on something like the email tool that they use every day, if you impact on the loading time even a little bit, it's a bit of a pain point for users. And if it slows Gmail down, for example, that's a huge pain point. So we've had to go to great lengths to get this thing to work smoothly and fast inside Gmail. And obviously, we're on a constant drive to improve that.
And Wayne, when did you launch the tool?
So, I mean, it's never really we didn't actually have an official launch date ever.
When did you install it put it on the Chrome store?
So that was probably about 2 years ago.
Okay, so 2014.
So it's been quite a journey. And interestingly, it kind of got out the gates a bit early. A Lifehacker journalist picked up found sort of a backdoor into allowing users to install it without an invite code, and that just sort of forced us into customer support mode and I guess kind of into growth mode when we weren't quite ready for it.
Currently, are there full-time developers on this, or do you just hire contractors as you need?
No, full-time developers.
How many?
We've got 3 full-time developers on it.
And what's the rest of the full-time team look like?
So we've actually sort of got 2 different businesses within the same within the same structure. So there's another 3 developers on a different business, which is really a low-maintenance annuity business in the mobile content space. And that is really actually what funds the development and growth of Sorted.
How much revenue did that other business do in 2015? Add it all up.
So, yeah, I prefer not to disclose some of those details, I think, because we still
what's a range?
Fundraising.
Wayne, what's a range?
Like north of $1 million.
Okay, but less than 10 million?
Yeah, in dollars, less than 10 million, yeah.
And you said you're looking to raise for that business. What's the funding environment look like in South Africa?
So it's quite early on. I mean, I think you find that a lot of players in the venture space in South Africa are looking for post-revenue opportunities. Typically Series A. So the seed funding environment is quite early on. I think you do find these sort of low-profile angel investors who will back an idea that they're passionate about or that they believe in. But I think it's early days. But that said, it's definitely getting more vibrant. I think you're finding a lot more interest in amazing tech that's coming out of South Africa. In things like typically like the payment space. Banking is quite advanced in this country. So some of the stuff that does really well is in the mobile space, in the payment space. So yeah, I mean, I think it's sort of getting more interesting. I mean, that said, for us, it's an international venture. So and we're not in a major rush to find funding. In the meantime, we'd rather have the right investors on board, and we'll continue to just self-fund it from the other business until that point.
How much do you want to raise?
So we're looking in the region of about $1 million.
And this is for your other business, or for Sorted?
No, that's for Sorted.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, because that allows us just really to grow a lot faster, which is what we'd like to do.
Guys, I get asked all the time, Nathan, you host all these interviews, hundreds of them per month. How do you do them efficiently? And guys, the answer is simple. People always agree to my calendar, back-to-back meetings. I batch my interviews to stay very efficient. And the way that I do it is I use a tool called Acuity Scheduling at nathanlatka.com/schedule. And the reason I use them is very simple. They keep my no-show rate very low because they send out reminders about when the interview or the meeting is coming up. And also, they make it very easy to schedule time, right? I don't have to go back and forth via email 10,000 times with people I'm trying to meet with. Okay, at nathanlatka.com/schedule. It helps me so much. And by the way, look, I have so many meetings. I'm the best at meetings. Okay, I do them back to back, very, very efficient. You guys know me. Many people say I'm the most efficient they've ever seen. Okay, so I use the tool. It's so efficient. And by the way, I got Gavin. I said, Gavin, he's the CEO. I said, I want a great deal for my people. He said, Nathan, well, most people get a 14-day trial. Isn't that great? I said, no. He's given us a 45-day free trial at nathanlatka.com/schedule. That's not going to stay up forever, so go get it now. nathanlatka.com/schedule. Yep, awesome. Very good. Well, hey, let's wrap out, Wayne, just more about you personally with the famous 5. These are quick one-word answers. You ready?
Sure.
All right. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
The Tipping Point, I think.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying right now?
No, there actually isn't.
Number 3, is there...
I like to... yeah, okay, go for it.
Is there a favorite online tool you have, like TopTal?
Sorry, like?
Is there any favorite online tool?
I like Workflowy. That's pretty cool. Other than sorted, I guess.
Number 4, yes or no, do you get 8 hours of sleep every night?
I would say in 7. Well, no, I don't.
Okay. And what's your situation? Married, single, do you have kids?
Yeah, married, 1 kid, little boy, 2 years old.
Oh, very good. And how old are you?
38.
Okay, so last question. Take us back 18 years, Wayne. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
That's a good question. I think I wish my 20-year-old self knew that there's plenty of opportunity out there. Yeah, and I guess you can kind of pick and choose what you're passionate about.
Top Tribe, there you have it from Wayne, the founder of Sorted. There's plenty of out there and plenty of opportunities out there for you to pick from. He's using his other business, which does north of $1 million per year in revenue, to fund Sorted, which has grown to over 200,000 users. It's really the #1 leader in terms of the Gmail kind of Trello productivity space. They put in over 500 grand so far to build it. Launched in 2014. Now looking to raise $1 million to accelerate growth with the right partners. Wayne, thank you for taking us to the top.
Cool. Thanks, Nathan.
If you enjoyed Wayne today, go back and listen to Daniel yesterday. His company Attentive raised 150 grand in a very difficult Portugal market, and they're looking to solve a very unique sales problem. Okay, Top Tribe, I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. And don't forget, before you listen to any other episodes, subscribe on iTunes right now for your chance to win $100 every Monday.